And I have to say, one of the best studies that I've ever seen on that was published in Turkey. It was done by Turkish researchers. And they looked at food allergy.
You remember the name?
I don't have that reference immediately handy. And it was many years ago. It was 20, 25 years ago. But they looked at food allergy using a blood test. And then they, in a controlled fashion, took people with migraines, put them on a diet based upon those blood tests or some kind of placebo diet, and found a marked improvement in allergy, in the migraines with the people who had been given this diet. Now, this is especially important in childhood migraine. In children, if your migraines originate in childhood, there's probably an 80 to 90% chance that the migraines are triggered by allergy. Now, the link with leaky gut is very interesting. And this has to do with, this was demonstrated by a German researcher who basically was able to identify a delay between ingesting the food to which the child was allergic and the development of the migraine. It could be as late as 48 hours. So if this is an allergic reaction, why did it take so long for the migraine to occur? And what was demonstrated was that the food allergy first created a change in the intestine. The inflammation from the food allergy made the intestine leaky. It ordinarily, the intestine, the interface between your body as in the intestinal lining and the contents of the intestine, which are loaded with bacteria and food and all sorts of foreign substances, that interface is very tightly guarded. I mean, there are a lot of things in your intestine that you do not want in your body. And with the allergic reaction, that frontier breaks down, the interface breaks down. You get this phenomenon called leaky gut, which is not one condition or one disease, it's just a manifestation of the inflammation that's occurring in the intestine. Then toxic substances, chemicals in the gut, in the intestines, come into the body. It appears as if the migraine is actually produced by those toxins. It's an indirect effect of the allergy. And that explains why there's a delay, or maybe a delay, between eating the food and getting the migraine. Well, sometimes heartburn is the result of an allergic reaction. But one of the things that the research has shown is that these drugs that are used to treat heartburn increase allergy. They increase allergy to food. And they seem to do that by suppressing the acid in your stomach. Because when you eat something that contains protein, which is most foods, there's some protein in it, the acid in your stomach coagulates the protein. It starts the process of protein digestion. When you suppress that acid, because you want to get rid of heartburn, for example, then the protein that passes into your small intestine has not been denatured. It has not been coagulated. It is much more allergenic. And people who have allergies, in particular who are taking these heartburn drugs, the levels of allergic antibodies to specific foods that they're eating goes way up, very high, when they're taking these drugs.